Welcome back to James Pigeon. This is the first video I'm making in a hopeful series to quickly profile every sitting American governor, and hopefully I finish it before one of them leaves office and it becomes out of date before the last part comes out. If you're an American and don't know what a governor is, it's basically just like a mini president of each state, of which we have 50, and I'll also be covering the territorial leaders. I'm going to be tackling 6 states at a time in rough regional groups, going east to west. So we'll be starting, of course, with the 6 governors of New England. So first off, Vermont. The governor of Vermont is Phil Scott. He is 67 years old and a former champion stock car racer and construction mogul. The 2 main things to know about Scott are that he is very moderate and he is very popular. Governor Scott was elected in 2016 and has since been reelected 4 times, each by extremely large margins. This is despite the fact that he is a Republican, in a state which is considered by pollsters to be the most Democratic-leaning in the entire country. This just speaks to the fact that he is very, very personally popular with the Vermonters. In fact, he consistently ranks as the most popular governor in America, with approval ratings well above 70%. And how exactly does a Republican do so well in Vermont? Well, of course, Mr. Scott is also very, very moderate, often ranked, in fact, as one of the very most liberal members of his party. He is pro-choice, pro-LGBT, anti-gun, anti-Trump, and an environmentalist. He is constitutionally eligible to seek a 6th term later this year, but has not yet announced if he will. The current governor of New Hampshire is Kelly Ayotte. She is 57 years old and a former big-shot lawyer, Attorney General of New Hampshire, and Republican senator. She's considered quite a conservative, at least by New England standards, and she gained notoriety for having been involved in a big lawsuit against the pro-choice organization Planned Parenthood back when she was Attorney General, personally arguing before the Supreme Court against the governor's wishes. As her state is so infamous for, she is a pretty much decent fiscal conservative, very much in favor of balanced budgets and that sort of thing, although she has become a lot more liberal as she's gotten older, and a lot of her previous conservative stances have been walked back over the years. She was elected in 2024 and has not said whether she will seek a 2nd term later this year. Maine's governor is Janet Mills. She is 78 years old and a former district attorney and attorney general. She's pretty much just a moderate establishment Democrat of the sort you see a whole lot of across the rural Northeast. This has made her unpopular with the real progressive Maine Democrats, but hasn't really helped her much to win over many Republicans. Mrs. Mills is very unpopular and has been Maine's governor for the past 7 years, so she is now hopping off the train to run for the Senate against a 5-term Republican incumbent. The incumbent governor of Massachusetts is Maura Healey. She is 55 years old and once again a former attorney general of her state. She was actually born in Maryland and grew up in New Hampshire, but moved to Massachusetts when she attended Harvard in 1988. She's also one of the first openly gay governors in the United States and a Roman Catholic, which has not been entirely uncontroversial. Despite leading a historically very liberal state, Miss Healey is considered quite the moderate, although by national standards she would still be seen as pretty far to the left. She was elected in 2022 and is running for re-election. The small state of Connecticut is led by Ned Lamont. He is 72 years old and has been in charge of his state for the past 7 years. He was born in Washington, D.C. to a mother who was a Senate staffer and a father who worked in economics. Eventually, he became a small-town journalist and later a minor media mogul in New England. He was elected in 2018 and has been serving ever since. Governor Lamont is basically just your standard Northeastern Democrat, doing generally progressive things like abortion liberalization and wage increases. He gained particular notoriety for his response to the COVID-19 pandemic, where he managed to garner over 70% approval of his handling of it. This permanently raised his poll numbers even years after it, and he has remained one of the country's most popular governors ever since. Mr. Lamont currently seeks re-election. And finally, the tiny state of Rhode Island is led by Dan McKee. He is 74 years old and was the 6th-term mayor of his hometown, Cumberland, before becoming lieutenant governor in 2015 and then governor himself in 2021. Governor McKee is extremely unpopular and consistently ranks as the very least popular governor in the entire country, with a net approval rating often below 0%. A lot of this hate comes from his failure to deliver on infrastructure projects, such as the infamous Washington Bridge debacle. Mr. McKee is running for re-election, but he is considered to face a legitimate challenge in getting the Democratic nomination this time around. All right, thank you guys for listening to those quick profiles of the governors of New England, and stay tuned for next time where we'll be talking about the governors of the 6 mid-Atlantic states.